Good morning, everybody. The Rev here. It's time for a cup of coffee with Jesus. Some pretty good. This is Luminous from T3 Roasters, Collinsville, Oklahoma. Pretty good. Hey, reading in the Word this morning. This is I'm going to read it out of the Passion Translation this morning, Luke 6, and this is it says Jesus also quoted these parables. What happened when a blind man pretends to guide another blind man? They both stumble into the ditch. And how could the apprentice know more than the master? For only after he is qualified will he be at that level. Why do you focus on the flaws of someone else's life and fail to notice the glaring flaws of your own life? How could you say to your friend, "Hey, here, let me show you where you're wrong and where you're guilty of even more than he is"? You are overly critical, splitting hairs, of being a hypocrite. You must acknowledge your own blind spots and deal with them before you're able to deal with the blind spots of your friend. Okay, I got a few things out of this morning. First off, when I was reading it out of the NASB, and I found out NASBS that I usually, when I print my scriptures down below, that's because it's Strong's Concordance with it. NASBS. So here you go. I was looking at Luke 6 again, and it says when you're looking at the parables, and why do you look at the speck in your brother's eye when you don't notice the log in your own eye? And that the pupil's not greater than the teacher. I just had all this. Okay, I'm backing up just a little. I heard an old CCR song. Actually, this morning it came up on a reel, and it's like Down in the Bayou, and he said when he was a little boy, his dad told him, he said, "Don't let the man do you the way he did me." And what I saw is like a lot of this, what we see right here, is the parents that are dealing with the generational curses, and we're trying to tell our kids, "Hey, look, you got this thing in your life." It's like, yeah, you got it in your life because mom and dad never dealt with it. Mom and dad never dealt with the rejection in their lives. Mom and dad never dealt with the pornography, never dealt with the alcoholism, never dealt with a lot of stuff that's in their life. And guess what? It's an even bigger thing for you to deal with it. That's what I saw that today. It's like when the dad's telling the son in that song, it's like, "Don't let the man do you the way he did me." It's like, well, the enemy did you because you didn't stand up. You know, I've been working diligently in my life to battle all the things that the Lord brings up one by one, so my kids don't have to deal with it. Whether my kids are adopted or not, they're placed under my authority, and they're legally mine. They're adopted by the court system, and you know what? The enemy knows they're mine too. And I have to break off generational stuff that came through their natural bloodline, and I have to break off what I have put in them that's down my bloodline. It's a double whammy. Yeah, and if you're not willing to look at your own junk and look at it, and you're being hypercritical of others, when you're not really willing to look at your own stuff that's come down the generations. I remember things that are in my grandfather, they're in me, and I'm like, Lord, I don't want that in my kids in the least. But the other thing is I need to remember, I also need to foster the great things that were in my grandfather and the great things that were in my father that I need to put into my kids and to put into my grandkids. It all goes back to what's in our heart. And I wanted to say this is, for each tree is known by its own fruit. For men do not gather figs from thorns, nor do they pick grapes from briar bush. A good man out of his good treasure of his heart brings forth what is good, and the evil man out of the evil treasures brings forth what is evil. For the mouth speaks from that which fills his heart. It's out of the abundance of our heart, our mouth speaks. And if the abundance in your heart is generational junk, and you're just being a hypocrite towards your kids, yeah, the Lord was just dealing with me on, pointed out a few today. So Lord, I'm willing to be willing, and I'll work on these. Are you willing to take an honest look at yourself today and say, Lord, I'm willing to be willing and look at these? Because he's that good to help you. break them off so your kids don't have a greater giant to deal with. Get 5 smooth rocks out of the river and go slay some giants today. Jesus loves you. I love you. Absolutely nothing you could do about it. Have a good day slaying the giants so you're not a hypocrite. See you soon. Goodbye.